On tyres, Caterham Tracksport Championship. The race is being led now by Terry Langley. While we've been on the break, he's nipped through into the race lead, and David Robinson drops back to second. And third, right there behind them, is the Brisbane-born Kurt Brady. So Langley leads the way. Back to the abacus in a moment to see what this will do to the championship. David Robinson looks for a way back past him. They come now up towards the Tarzan hairpin. Langley leading the way. Robinson goes for the inside, but he doesn't come out of the slipstream. He hits the back and he goes off the road. Into the gravel goes David Robinson, who is absolutely furious. Punches the living daylights out of the steering wheel, and he did that all on his own. He didn't come out far enough from behind the car of Terry Langley. Got himself caught up behind, did all the damage. He tried to swing sides, but actually, while he's busy thumping the steering wheel, in a funny kind of way, this might actually help him, because he now has to drop this, which is a 0 and 18 points. That's the same as Langley, and he was ahead going into the race. So potentially, David Robinson, even though he storms away from his car, could yet win the championship. There's the replay. Langley suddenly sees Robinson launch over the top of him. But as Robinson tried to go from one side to the other, he rather misjudged it, thumped the back of the car of Terry Langley. Now Langley has lost places. Can he fight back from here? The race now is being led by Andrew West. That sort out at the Tarzan hairpin puts him ahead of Mike Hart. Hart having won the first 2 races of the season at Silverstone, and he hasn't won since, but here he is in the mix now. Third is Kurt Brady as they come up over the timing line. And it could be now that Mike Hart bookends the season with wins. He won the opening race. Can he win the last race? He goes right round the outside of Andrew West there, with the pseudo martini stripes on the back of the car. It's West on the inside, Hart in the middle, and Kurt Brady, the Australian, is on the outside line now as they break for the Dean hairpin. West hangs on to the race lead, and you've also got Lee Furniss, you've also got John Mortimer coming into this mix as well. The clock is ticking away up towards the end of 30 minutes of racing as wide goes Mike Hart. Kurt Brady now tries to get up the inside, and going through behind is the silver car of Lee Furniss. It could all yet change for second, third and fourth, but you've got to say that Andrew West now looks as though he's getting away from those behind him. As they turn their way now up through Kirby. There in 46 is John Mortimer, another regular front runner, regular race winner in Caterham racing, but it looks as though Andrew West might just be able to hang on to the checkered flag. The clock is ticking away, and I reckon this is going to be the last lap for them. The flag should be out this time. There's less than a lap time left in the race now, so as they work their way towards the Tarzan hairpin, the race leader is Andrew West, who's yet to score a victory all season. This would be far and away his best result of the year, his best weekend of the season. Went strongly in the first race too, as Mike Hart is second, and he's busy defending now from Kurt Brady. Where is Terry Langley in all of this? He's going to be 7th as a big lock up there coming down towards Brook. Very nearly spells disaster for Andrew West. Up towards the line they come. There's the race and then there's the championship to factor into all of this. We'll do the race first. 1 corner to go. Here they come up towards the line. Andrew West is going to win, but only just. Mike Hart's going to be second, but only just. And Kurt Brady takes third. Over the line they go. 4th goes to Furniss. John Mortimer is 5th, and 6th is Will Scully ahead of Terry Langley. So do some quick points. Terry Langley's worst is 18 points, which he would drop. And the same is true of David Robinson. So as Andrew West celebrates a race win from Mike Hart, Kurt Brady 3rd, Lee Furniss 4th, John Mortimer 5th, and Will Scully 6th. Crude mental arithmetic would suggest that the champion is David Robinson.
I knew I had to get straight back into the lead, because for me every point mattered. I went left and then went right to get the undercut, and I think Terry, I mean, he must have just, you know, thought twice about going left and gone right slightly, because I literally just clipped his wheel and it dragged the wheel out of my hands and straight onto him. So absolutely gutted. You know, it's not the way I want to turn the season, but we'll have to see what the stewards say and how it goes, really.
Doesn't really matter, truth be told. 18 points are dropped by both Robinson and Langley, and Robinson maintains his lead and therefore takes the championship by just 2 points from Terry Langley. John Mortimer 3rd, Kurt Brady 4th ahead of Mike Hart, and James Needham rounds out the top 6 at the end of an all-action finale to the season. To the grid next come the cars for the Avon Tyres Caterham Supersport Championship finale. And this is a title already won. Aaron Head was able to secure that at Snetterton, but the battle's on behind. Lee Wiggins versus Jez Webb for 2nd and 3rd. It's John Saunders 4th ahead of Carlton Brown. And Craig Curry lies 6th, and he, having had 1 win already this season, won the first race of the weekend here. So it's Craig Curry who will start on pole position. With him is Lee Wiggins then, as the drivers look towards the lights, which go red. Engine notes rise, the lights go out. out now. The race gets underway with a good start being made by Wiggins, and also Carlton Brown away reasonably well from the third row of the grid. But as they accelerate up towards turn one for the first time, it's all about who is going to be the championship runner-up here. You're on board with Steve Day. He started on the third row of the grid and looks for a gap up on the inside there. Look of John Saunders' car as they break for the Dean hairpin. Steve Day goes through. There's somebody who goes charging up on the outside line there. Down they go through Dean for the first time. And again, that tight hairpin with different drivers having different lines and a different braking zone for the corner always shuffles the order around. Lee Wiggins it is then who leads at the moment, with Craig Currie going with him. There's a lock-up in the body of the field. John Reed, number 2 there, turns his way through right on the back of Red Gilliland as they go now towards Chapman Curve for the first time. On board with Steve Day, looking to try to gain a place off John Saunders, who is busy sticking out his elbows here. Dancing off the curbs, those two cars, as they wriggle their way up now towards Kirby, through the long left, then it's a long steel straight down towards Gracelands. Lee Wiggins it is then up front and trying to break away from the rest of them. This is Steve Day's view, going uphill, then left into Gracelands. Using all of the road up to the curb on the very outside, and indeed the runoff zone there. Craig Currie has lost a place, but he fights back there. Jez Webb up into second spot. So it's Wiggins versus Webb, the top two, and right there behind them is Craig Currie down to third, the race one winner, back on board with Steve Day here. Ahead of him you can see John Saunders going one way and then the other to try to gain another place, but the leading trio as one, those three cars coming out of Brook this time. Leading the way is Lee Wiggins, but only just, and then in second spot right on his tail is Jez Webb. Back to the calculator here. What do they have to do in order to secure second place in the championship? Jez Webb again is going to suffer on drop scores, but what can he do about a last race win of the year? He swoops round the outside here, going up towards the Dean hairpin. Craig Currie gets a tow as well and tries to split the pair of them as they break now, as they drop into Dean. Webb leads and Currie tries to go right round the outside there. He's got the outside line at Dean in the black car. He's got the inside line for the next right-hander. Can he go through on the inside? Yes, he can. Craig Currie glances the curb, but he still goes through. Picks up second spot, and down to third, therefore, has gone now Lee Wiggins. So Jez Webb leads, and with damage and off the road there, looking as though that is the end of the championship for Fergus Ryan. Well, he's going to rejoin, albeit with damage. He may only get as far as the pit lane. Let's see, there he is spinning off to the left. It looks as though he might have had a bit of a nudge into that. So Fergus Ryan's car tries to rejoin, back on track. Craig Currie launches up the inside of Jez Webb and now picks up the race lead once more. Pole sitter Craig Currie works his way out of turn 4, heading up towards the timing line. Behind him is Jez Webb, and then Lee Wiggins is right there in touch for third place. Webb pulls out, goes for the inside line as they head towards turn 1. Can he swoop through on the inside? Yes, he can. On the inside, number 11, Jez Webb goes through, but Craig Currie stands his ground on the outside line. They break now for Dean, and right there behind them in the green car is Lee Wiggins. It's going to be Webb that leads the way as they drop down to the hairpin. Second is Currie in the black and orange car. Third is Lee Wiggins. These three are now starting to be caught a little bit as well. It's not going to be 3 for the lead for much longer. It's going to be 4, I reckon. Somebody else in strife there, trying to rejoin number 71. You can see Martin Collier, another driver getting Dean hairpin wrong. And this is what he did, completely missed his braking point, up the escape road. Slows the car down, turns back to the desired line, carries on in the race. Steve Day, in the meantime, busy trying to work away up past number 18, Sean Byrne. And his car looking ever more lightweight, because Sean Byrne, you can see, has lost his left rear wheel arch. Other battles still to be resolved down the order there. Look, number 69 gaining a place on the inside, heading through Dean. And that puts Stephen Collins further up the order. And somebody else in trouble is Sean Byrne. Now, we've already talked about the fact that the car's lost bodywork. Now it's lost all orientation altogether. Was it self-induced or was there a tap? Self-induced by the look of it. Yes, goes a little bit too late on the brakes up towards Kirby. Round comes the back, and it's a spin for Byrne. As up front, Craig Currie leads the way. Right on his tail now is Lee Wiggins. Jez Webb runs in third place, and they're getting away from the rest of the field here. Ben Gower ahead of Steve Day, 4th and 5th. Still Lee Wiggins, though, lapping quickly, getting himself onto the back of Craig Currie. So Wiggins after a race victory, and Steve Day, who's had a yo-yo season, would dearly love to be on the podium to round out the year. Up towards Dean then, brakes for the hairpin, sets the car up for that tight left-hander. Comes off the banking, swoops through the corner as Craig Currie and Lee Wiggins remain glued together nose to tail for the race lead. Through the right-hander, heading now up towards the Piff-Paff. Then Rockingham curve, then Kirby. And you can see in these types of cars that it's so hard to make a break, and Craig Currie just cannot shake off Lee Wiggins. The two of them running together with Jez Webb in third place. Now, is he going to be able to fight back? Or now that he's lost the toe, is he too far back? We'll see. They come down through Gracelands. The Rockingham International Super Sports Car Circuit, the long version. It's over 2 miles a lap. And this is the Tarzan hairpin. Craig Currie having had the win in the first race of the weekend, defending from Lee Wiggins. Both of them sawing away at the wheel as they come out of the Tarzan hairpin down towards Brook. And if they carry on squabbling for the race lead, that is only going to help to bring Jez Webb, who's there in third place, even closer to them. It's 2 for the race lead. It could soon become 3 for the lead once again in this last round of the Caterham Supersport Championship. Join us after the break. Welcome back to Rockingham, the last round of the Caterham Supersport Championship, and it's all action. The title won by Aaron Head, but this is the race lead duel. The green car is that of Lee Wiggins. Right on his tail is Craig Currie as they run nose to tail now, down to the left at Gracelands. Diving to the inside line is Craig Currie, but he can't find a way through there. Lee Wiggins knows how to win in a Caterham. He's only had 2 victories this year, but he's been good at scoring points, though. And a spin from Keith Ashworth drops him down the order. He was trying to gain ground. Look on the inside of the Dean hairpin. He went through, but then ran wide coming out of the corner. Round comes the back, and he spins himself down the order. So Lee Wiggins is on target for win number 3 of the season, and this will give him the runners-up spot in the championship. Lee Wiggins comes across the line to win. Second is going to go the way of Craig Currie. But Aaron Head, Lee Wiggins, and then Jez Webb is going to be the top 3 in the title race. This is Steve Day for 5th overall as he comes over the line now. And under pressure as well, John Saunders right up behind him. Let's do the race result first of all. Lee Wiggins takes win number 3 of the year from Craig Currie and Jeremy Webb. Ben Gower 4th, Steve Day 5th, and John Saunders rounds out the top 6. For Lee Wiggins, that's enough to secure him P2 in the championship.
Oh, the start was okay. I got away okay, but I prefer to chase than follow. So they came back through, and I just sat in third for 20 minutes waiting. So just got to the... Jeremy slowed down a little bit, so I went through to second, and then just waited till the last lap board come out, and then have a go. And we got through it today. So yeah, we was quite lucky. We was a bit close down the bottom, but no, we was quite lucky. So. Good day, very good end to the season. Second again for the 3rd year on the trot, so maybe next year.
As Lee Wiggins celebrates a race victory, he has to stare only the runners-up spot in the face in the championship. Aaron Head takes the title, Lee Wiggins 2nd, and Jeremy Webb 3rd. Craig Currie 4th, but it couldn't be closer for 5th. Carlton Brown and John Saunders tying on points. But for Aaron Head, the championship is his with 6 wins. And so for the final race of the Caterham season, and this is the Caterham Superlight R300 Championship finale. Paul Wilson is the man that came to Rockingham heading Mark Shaw by just 4 points. Ian Payne 3rd. At the end of the first race of the weekend, Mark Shaw was the winner, Paul Wilson 2nd, and that is provisionally enough to give him the championship. The cars making their way up onto the grid. It's Mark Shaw on pole position. There's a big gap alongside him. Paul Wilson should be 2nd. He's not there. Let's find out why.
Yesterday was a bit too hot to handle, so yeah, he's going for 2nd in the title, and I couldn't stop him yesterday, so I thought I'd follow him home.
Now today you're not able to race just purely because of how the rules and regulations are, but could you just explain it to us?
Yeah, well basically if you manage to get yourself disqualified either by doing something silly on track or a technical infringement, you have to count your 0 rather than just not having a 0 at all. So yeah, basically if I count a 0 I'd lose. If I don't race, it's fine.
Now how are you going to be standing and watching from the pit wall?
I'm really looking forward to it, actually. It'd be quite nice seeing all the guys go at it. My tip's definitely going to be Mark. He's really quick around here, so yeah, I hope he gets 2nd in the championship sorted out.
So champion-elect Paul Wilson stands on the sidelines watching this final 30 minutes of the season for the Bookertrack.com Caterham Superlight R300s. Lights are red, Lights out, race underway. Good start by the poleman, Mark Shaw, and he leads the pack down towards turn 1 for the first time. Everybody away cleanly. And we know how frenetic Caterhams can be. These the fastest of the bunch, 175 brake horsepower, 2-litre engines. And Aaron Head, having won the Supersport crown this year, making his R300 debut, is in the body of the field as they go towards Dean for the first time. Mark Shaw leading the way. He's got Ian Payne in the borrowed car tucked up behind him. And as they work their way out of the Dean hairpin up towards Yentwood, it's Shaw in the lead of the race. And he's looking for second spot in the championship. Down towards Yentwood, big lock up there, looks straight on, goes Mark Coling in the black car, and Ed Hayes had nowhere to go. He was rather bundled out of the way there. He couldn't turn in, there was a car on the inside, so 2 of them off right at the very start. Meantime, Mark Shaw it is who leads the way. Ian Payne is in second spot, and then third is Paul Fleury, and Ed Hayes' season has come to a rather premature end. He's okay, car undamaged, and there's more drama there. Off the road goes Trevor Carvey. Big spin, he's kept it out of the gravel only just and heads back towards the road. Yellow flags fly there as well as Trevor Carvey should be able to rejoin the race. And at the Tarzan hairpin, there is yet more drama. And Steve Devlin gets sorted out, pushed off the road by the look of it because he too has got bodywork damage. It's a rather frenetic first lap. The clock at the course will be having a long look at this, no doubt, as the race leaders work their way up over the line. Mark Shaw leads the way, second is Ian Payne. And the pace is reduced, the safety car is out. That's why, look around turn 1, you'll see the flashing lights in the distance, and there's a general sweep-up operation to do. This was the first part. Mark Coling, completely out of control, locks up, goes straight on, and Ed Hayes either turned in and made contact or didn't turn in and went into the gravel. Then Trevor Carvey had his spin, and he got involved there with Adam Ballon by the look of it. Ballon continued, Carvey also rejoins, albeit delayed, and then at the Tarzan hairpin, more contact, and there Steve Devlin was the man that came off worst. The lights are out on top of the safety car. We'll go back to racing this time around, and it's Mark Shaw up front then. Here they come out of Brook. Speed will build now as Mark Shaw gets the warmth back into the rubber, powers his way up towards the timing line, still being pursued by Ian Payne. They come across the line then. Now what can Payne do in terms of race wins? Mark Shaw's had 2, one of which came this weekend. Ian Payne has had 3 victories. The Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit weekend being the real highlight of his year when he started his winning streak. And he's on the back of Shaw as they break for the Dean hairpin now. Paul Wilson, 7 times a winner, champion-elect. It'll be confirmed at the end of this race as there, look, diving up the inside. Flick Haig goes third at the expense of Paul Fleury. Really good move that by Flick, who's got better and better as the year has gone on. He slides the car then out of the right-hander of Yentwood. Fleury tucked up behind. And then behind the pair of them, you've got James Sharrock then as the cars now head through the infield. Now, what can Mark Shaw do about building this lead over the pursuing Ian Payne, who hits the curb and gets all sideways? That's the last thing he needs, although Ian Payne traditionally can recover if he loses a little bit of time. He's certainly got good racecraft, and we've seen that on a number of occasions all year. There in third spot, Flick Haig. Behind number 8, that's Paul Fleury in 4th. And then 5th is James Sharrock. They turn their way now through that left-hander, coming out of Gracelands up towards the Tarzan hairpin once more. Through the hairpin. Then it's going to be back on the power along School Straight, and there are battles all the way down the field there. Look, you can see 26, Ben Tompkins, the teammate to Ian Payne in the second of those borrow-backed cars, and he in turn is looking for a place at the expense of Ian Anderson, former Caterham champion. The leading gaggle all bunching up as they turn their way now out of Brook. Peter Ratcliffe joining into the back of that little gaggle as well as they come over the timing line now. Looking back from Mark Shaw's car, this is the race leader, and there behind him is Ian Payne as they come through the long left. This is turn 1. They're nose to tail, and as they get to the braking zone, to the outside line goes Ian Payne. Is he going to be able to now move across, take the lead? Not quite. Mark Shaw has the inside line. Ian Payne, though, trying to work out exactly where he is stronger than Mark Shaw is and where, therefore, he can make the move for the lead. They're nose to tail once again. Mark Shaw, remember, with a very long and successful single-seater career, got himself through Formula Vauxhall Junior, Formula Vauxhall, Formula 3, up to Formula 3000. The last rung on the ladder in those days before Formula 1. The money ran out. He backed away from racing for a while, built up his business, and has come back in the last few years a totally different type of driver, doing it for fun, but he's still hugely competitive. In a sense, it's been a frustration to Mark that he's not had more victories this year, only the 2. He's not going to win the championship, but he could be the runner-up. Looking back from Mark Shaw's car, just look how twitchy Ian Payne's car is. And there's somebody else off the road. That is 31. That's David McInerney. He's able to rejoin, but that's going to drop him to very nearly the back of the field. Let's have a look at what went wrong. Big squeal of tyres. McInerney getting it wrong, coming out of Dean. Sorts himself out, rejoins. As now, this is Mark Shaw, and he's under attack. He's lost the lead to Ian Payne, and now behind him, look, in car 24 is Aaron Head. Remember that this is Aaron's first outing in an R300, and it proves if you can win in one Caterham, you can win in another. Terry Langley, remember, made a very solid R300 debut at Brands mid-season, and Aaron Head, having this year won the Supersport Championship, is now part of this leading battle. New leader, though, is Ian Payne, and Mark Shaw down in second is having to defend. The race leaders power their way along School Straight, and Shaw is trying to attack and defend at the same time here. Mark Shaw tries the inside line against Ian Payne, no way through, and Aaron Head is all over him like the proverbial cheap suit here. Powering their way out of turn 4, up over the timing line. Remember, it's a 30-minute race. How much longer are they going to have? They come through, past the pits, up towards turn 1 now. Looking back from the second-place car of Mark Shaw, Aaron Head could be on the podium here, but he could even be a race winner in his maiden weekend in these cars. They go 3 wide, and Shaw locks up in the middle. Can he get it round the corner? He can. Head on the outside line stays third, and Ian Payne on the inside hangs on to the race lead. Great stuff this, as the cars now work their way down towards that right-hander once again at Yentwood. 3 for the race lead. Any one of these 3 could yet take the victory. And Aaron Head is looking for a way past Mark Shaw, who is looking for a way past Ian Payne for the lead. Is it going to be the checkered flag this time? It could well be. It's going to be touch and go. The Scotsman Mark Shaw is in second spot. You're on board with Head. On to Steel Straight. Grabs a gear. Sets the car up now for Gracelands. The road climbs slightly. The apex disappears. You turn into the left. And then it's the short straight up towards the Tarzan hairpin. Mark Shaw trying to attack for the race lead, and he's going to have to defend because right there behind him is Aaron Head. Shaw virtually pushing Payne through the corner. Now, is he biding his time? Is he building up to one last run for the lead? Or can he genuinely not do anything about Ian Payne? He goes to the outside line. Payne defends, brakes, turns left. And it's right, then it's left again through this little sequence of corners. Out of Brook, up towards the line. The checkered flag is going to be ready, and Ian Payne is going to take a 4th victory of the season. He comes across the line now. Ian Payne wins. Second is Mark Shaw, and third over the line is Aaron Head. But then, what does that do to the championship? It means that Paul Wilson is confirmed as the champion. 9 points ahead on drop scores of Mark Shaw, and Ian Payne is going to be third, as still they come across the line here. Battles rage on. Stuart Simpson finishing in 7th spot behind Paul Fleury, but ahead of Peter Ratcliffe. Well, Ian Payne is the winner by a 1/4 of a second, give or take. Aaron Head third, behind Mark Shaw, but ahead of Flick Haig in 4th. James Sharrock 5th, and Paul Fleury rounds out the top 6. Another cracking race.
We were quite lucky that we made a break right at the start so we could get away and just have our own battle. I think Mark knew even if he finished a couple of places behind me, he would have always got second in the championship. So I was biding my time, put him under a little bit of pressure, and then I just snuck down the inside of him going into turn 1. So it was good fun.
How much fun was that race today?
Yeah, it was good fun. It would have been a little bit better if I got past at the end there, but no, it was good. I mean, myself and Ian were tied for second place in the championship at the start of this weekend, so I think I got it by a couple of points. I'd have liked to win as well, but good race, and it's been good racing all year, so nice way to finish. Yeah.
And so, as the race winners make their way to the podium, let's have a look at how the championship ends in the bookertrack.com Caterham Superlight R300s. Paul Wilson, with his 7 wins, takes the championship ahead of Mark Shaw, a double winner, and 3 times a victor, Ian Payne. James Sharrock fends off Peter Ratcliffe for 4th, and Flick Haig comes through 6th at the end of a superb season of Caterham racing. We'll see you for more in 2013.